You know what's crazy? Monkeys have some of the most developed triceps in the animal kingdom, yet they've never stepped foot in a gym or bought a single piece of equipment. Meanwhile, humans are spending hundreds on cable machines, tricep attachments, and isolation exercises that barely scratch the surface of what these natural athletes achieve daily. The fitness industry has convinced you that tricep development requires specialized equipment, perfect form coaching, and expensive memberships. They've created this entire mythology around tricep isolation, kickbacks, overhead extensions, cable pushdowns, all designed to keep you dependent on their systems. But here's what they don't want you to discover. Monkeys reveal the truth about real tricep development, and it's embarrassingly simple. Time for some reality, brother. Walk into any commercial gym and you'll see the tricep section loaded with chrome machines, adjustable cables, and ergonomic handles that cost more than most people's cars. Personal trainers will tell you about the 3 heads of the tricep, optimal angles, and muscle confusion theories. Supplement companies push tricep-specific pre-workouts and recovery formulas. It's all designed to make you think tricep development is rocket science. But swing through any forest canopy and watch what's really happening. Monkeys are performing thousands of tricep-intensive movements every single day without thinking about muscle isolation or targeted development. They're not counting reps or measuring angles. They're just living their natural movement patterns, and their triceps are responding exactly how nature intended. Companies want you confused, so you keep buying. Monkeys never needed a gym membership, yet their arms are stronger than most humans who've been training for years. Here's the truth that'll save you thousands. Monkeys develop thick triceps through 3 fundamental movement patterns that require 0 equipment and work every single time. Pattern 1, the overhead press reality. Every time a monkey reaches overhead to grab a branch, swing to the next tree, or pull themselves up and over obstacles, they're performing what's essentially a natural overhead pressing movement. But unlike your gym's shoulder press machine with its fixed range of motion, monkeys are pressing their entire body weight through varying angles, distances, and grips. This isn't just tricep work, it's integrated strength development where the triceps have to stabilize, support, and drive movement in 3-dimensional space. Your cable pushdowns can't even come close to replicating this kind of functional demand. The simple truth: start doing handstand progressions against a wall. Begin with wall walks, progress to chest-to-wall handstand holds, then work toward freestanding handstands. Your triceps will develop thickness and strength that isolation exercises could never provide, because you're training them the way they were designed to function, as powerful stabilizers supporting your entire body weight. Pattern 2, the climb and conquer method. Watch a monkey climbing. They're not just pulling themselves up, they're pushing themselves up and away from surfaces, using their triceps as primary drivers. Every climbing movement involves this push-away component that gym exercises completely ignore. Modern fitness has you thinking climbing is all about pulling muscles, but monkeys know the secret. Real climbing strength comes from the ability to push yourself away from holds while simultaneously pulling toward the next one. This creates incredible tricep development because these muscles are working as both stabilizers and prime movers. The application is beautifully simple. Start climbing things: trees, playground equipment, rock walls, or even just practicing climber movements on the floor. Focus on the pushing component, how you drive yourself away from each hold, using your triceps to create space and momentum for the next movement. This isn't about perfect form or controlled repetitions. It's about natural, dynamic movement where your triceps have to adapt to constantly changing demands. That adaptation creates the kind of functional strength and muscle development that actually serves you in real life. Pattern 3, the natural dip revelation. Here's where the fitness industry really got it backwards. They took the natural dipping movement that monkeys perform constantly and turned it into this isolated, controlled exercise on parallel bars or machines. They stripped away all the natural variation and dynamic elements that make the movement actually effective. Monkeys don't do perfect parallel bar dips. They're constantly lowering themselves down between branches, rocks, and irregular surfaces, then pressing back up using whatever leverage and angles are available. Sometimes they're pressing straight up, sometimes at angles, sometimes with uneven hand placement, sometimes supporting their body weight while simultaneously reaching for the next hold. This creates tricep development that's not just about muscle size, it's about practical strength, coordination, and adaptability. Your gym's dip station, with its perfectly parallel bars and controlled range of motion, can't replicate this kind of comprehensive development. The natural approach: find irregular surfaces and practice dipping movements with variation. Tree branches at different heights, playground equipment, even sturdy chairs or counters. Focus on controlling your body weight through different angles and hand positions, not on perfect form or maximum repetitions. Here's the reality that fitness marketers pray you never understand. Your triceps weren't designed to work in isolation. They evolved as part of an integrated system, where every movement involves multiple muscle groups working together in complex, three-dimensional patterns. When you isolate your triceps on a cable machine, you're training them in a way that has no correlation to how they actually function in real movement. You might get some muscle growth, but you're missing the neurological adaptation, the stabilizer strength, and the functional coordination that creates truly impressive and useful development. Monkeys develop thick triceps because every tricep contraction they perform serves a functional purpose in a complex movement pattern. Their nervous system is constantly adapting to new challenges. Their stabilizer muscles are always engaged, and their triceps are learning to produce force while coordinating with dozens of other muscle groups. Your ancestors were swinging from trees and climbing rocks long before anyone invented a tricep pushdown machine. Their arms were stronger, more functional, and more resilient than what most modern gym-goers achieve after years of isolation training. This isn't about rejecting all modern fitness knowledge. It's about understanding that the most effective training methods are often the simplest and most natural ones. Companies want you to believe that effective tricep development requires specialized knowledge, expensive equipment, and complex programming. They've convinced you that natural movement patterns aren't sufficient for serious muscle development. But monkeys never count reps, never worry about muscle confusion, never buy supplements, and never stress about optimal training splits. They just move naturally and consistently, and their triceps respond by becoming exactly what they need them to be: strong, functional, and impressively developed. The path forward is ridiculously simple. Incorporate overhead pressing movements, natural climbing patterns, and varied dipping exercises into your routine. Use your body weight, work through natural ranges of motion, and focus on movement quality rather than isolation perfection. Your triceps will develop thickness, strength, and functionality that gym machines could never provide, because you're training them the way nature intended, as integrated components of a complete movement system. Natural way costs nothing but works everything. Simple movements, real results. Monkey smart, human fooled. Free wisdom beats expensive lies every single time.